Hey everyone, and welcome back to English with Noah and Allie. I'm Noah.
And I'm Allie. Thanks for joining us today.
We're really happy you're here because today's topic is something every English learner needs. We're going to talk about daily routines.
Oh, that's a big one. I think almost every beginner learns daily routine vocabulary very early.
That's true. Most learners know words and phrases like wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, study English, have dinner, and go to bed.
I know all of those.
I know you do.
But I have a confession.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Even though I know those words, I still feel strange when I try to talk about my day in English.
Strange how?
It sounds boring. It sounds robotic. It sounds like I'm reading from a textbook.
Give me an example.
Okay, if someone asks me about my day, I might say, I wake up at 7, I eat breakfast, I go to work, I eat lunch, I go home, I watch TV, I go to bed.
And technically, that's completely correct English.
But it doesn't sound natural.
Exactly.
Why is that?
Because you're describing actions. Native speakers are usually telling a story.
A story?
Yes. Think about the last time someone asked you about your day.
Okay.
Did they really want a list of activities?
Not really.
Usually, they want to know what your life is like. They want to hear a little story about your day.
That actually makes sense.
Let me show you what I mean.
Okay.
Imagine somebody asked me, Noah, what does a typical morning look like for you?
What would you say?
I could say, I wake up at 6, I drink coffee, I get dressed.
That's correct English.
It is.
But it sounds kind of boring.
Exactly. Now listen to this.
I'm listening.
Most mornings, my alarm goes off at 6 o'clock. I wish I could tell you that I jump out of bed full of energy every day, but that would not be true.
I already like this version better.
Usually, I stay in bed for another few minutes. Sometimes I'm checking my phone. Sometimes I'm just staring at the ceiling and trying to convince myself that it's time to get up.
That sounds very real.
Eventually, I get out of bed and head straight to the kitchen.
Straight to the kitchen?
Absolutely. The first thing I do every morning is make coffee.
Before breakfast?
Before everything.
Wow.
I'm not saying that's a good habit, but it's definitely my habit.
So coffee comes first.
Every single time. While the coffee is brewing, I usually look out the window for a minute and think about everything I need to do that day.
That's a nice routine.
Sometimes it feels nice. Sometimes it feels stressful.
Fair enough.
After that, I sit down with my coffee and slowly wake up. I'm not one of those people who can be fully awake immediately.
Me neither.
I usually take me a little time.
I think many of our listeners can relate to that.
Probably. After my coffee, I get ready for the day. I brush my teeth, wash my face, get dressed, and make sure I have everything I need.
See, this sounds completely different from saying, I wake up, I drink coffee, I get dressed.
Exactly.
The actions are almost the same.
But the way they're connected is different.
It feels more like a conversation.
That's because native speakers often connect ideas with thoughts, feelings, habits, and little details.
That's interesting.
We don't usually talk like robots.
Good thing.
Imagine if someone asked me how my morning was, and I said, wake up, coffee, clothes, work.
You would sound like a machine.
Exactly.
So the goal isn't to learn more verbs.
Not necessarily.
The goal is learning how to connect ideas.
That's right.
That's where many learners struggle.
I agree.
Because when we learn English, we often learn individual sentences.
Yes.
We learn things like, I eat breakfast.
Correct.
But we don't learn what comes before or after.
Exactly.
So how can learners sound more natural?
One easy trick is to stop thinking about individual actions and start thinking about your day as a story.
Can you give us an example?
Sure.
Let's hear it.
Instead of saying, I eat breakfast,
Okay.
you could say, I usually grab something quick for breakfast before I start work.
That sounds much more natural.
Instead of saying, I go to work,
What would you say?
you might say, around 8 o'clock, I head to work and try to beat the morning traffic.
That sounds like something a real person would actually say.
Exactly.
What about I watch TV?
A native speaker might say, in the evening, I usually unwind by watching a little TV.
Unwind.
That's a great word.
What does it mean?
It means to relax after a busy day.
That's useful.
Very useful.
Okay, Noah, I want to try this.
Go for it.
I'll describe my morning.
Great.
I wake up at 7, I eat breakfast, I go to work.
That's our textbook version.
Yes.
Now let's make it sound more natural.
Please help me.
Let's start with the first sentence.
Okay.
Instead of I wake up at 7, you could say, most days I wake up around 7, although sometimes I stay in bed a little longer if I'm tired.
Wow, that already sounds better.
Because it's personal.
Right.
Now let's look at breakfast.
Okay.
Instead of I eat breakfast, you might say, the first thing I do after getting up is make breakfast and enjoy a cup of coffee.
Enjoy a cup of coffee. I like that.
It's natural and conversational.
What about going to work?
Instead of I go to work, you could say, after breakfast, I get ready and head to work.
Head to work.
Very common expression.
So native speakers often use little connecting phrases.
Exactly.
Things like after that, usually, most days, and the first thing I do.
That's right.
Those phrases make a huge difference.
They really do.
You know what? I'm starting to realize something.
What's that?
I already know enough English to talk about my daily routine.
I think many learners do.
The problem isn't vocabulary.
Often it isn't.
The problem is that we're trying to sound perfect instead of sounding natural.
That's a very important lesson.
So if you're listening right now, maybe stop worrying about finding difficult words.
Great advice.
Maybe focus on connecting simple ideas instead.
Exactly. Simple English can sound very natural when it's connected well.
And honestly, listening to your morning story was much more interesting than listening to a list of actions.
That's because stories create pictures in our minds.
That's true.
When I say, I drink coffee, you understand the action.
Right.
But when I say, I sit quietly with my first cup of coffee while the world slowly wakes up around me, you can imagine it.
That's a completely different feeling.
Exactly.
It's funny because the action itself isn't very exciting.
Not at all.
You're still just drinking coffee.
That's true.
But somehow it becomes more interesting.
Because people connect with experiences more than actions.
What do you mean by that?
Well, imagine I tell you, I had lunch today.
Okay.
You understand the information.
Right.
Imagine I say, I was so busy this afternoon that I almost forgot to eat lunch. Around 2 o'clock, I finally took a break and grabbed a sandwich.
That feels much more real.
Exactly. Now you're not just hearing an action, you're hearing a small story.
I think that's what many learners are missing.
I agree.
We spend so much time learning vocabulary that we forget people use language to share experiences.
That's a great way to put it.
Okay, Noah, I think I'm ready.
Ready for what?
I want to try describing my daily routine again.
Let's do it.
But this time, I'll try to sound more natural.
Perfect.
Most days, I wake up around 7 o'clock. I'm not really a morning person, so it usually takes me a few minutes before I'm fully awake.
That's already sounding much better.
Really?
Absolutely.
Then I get out of bed and make breakfast. I usually have something simple because I don't like spending too much time cooking in the morning.
Great detail.
After breakfast, I get ready for the day and head to work.
Nice.
That sounds much more natural than before.
It does.
And honestly, it doesn't feel much harder.
That's the surprising part.
What is?
Sounding natural isn't always about using advanced English.
That's good news for our listeners.
Most of the time, it's about connecting simple ideas.
I think learners need to hear that more often.
Definitely.
So what happens after your morning routine?
Usually, my workday begins.
What does a typical workday look like for you?
It depends on the day, but most mornings I spend some time planning what I need to accomplish.
Are you very organized?
I try to be.
Try.
Some days are more successful than others.
I think everyone understands that.
I usually start by checking messages and reviewing my schedule. Then I focus on whatever project needs the most attention.
That sounds productive.
Sometimes.
Uh-oh.
Sometimes I spend 10 minutes working and then somehow find myself reading something completely unrelated online.
So you're human after all.
Barely.
I knew it.
But honestly, that's another thing native speakers talk about.
What do you mean?
We often include little imperfections in our stories.
That's true.
Nobody expects expects your daily routine to sound perfect.
That's actually comforting.
Imagine somebody asks, "What's your typical workday like?"
Okay.
A natural answer might include things that don't go according to plan.
Like getting distracted?
Exactly.
Or feeling tired?
Absolutely.
Or being busy?
Definitely.
So natural English isn't perfect English.
Not at all.
That's an important lesson.
It really is.
Let's talk about the afternoon.
Good idea.
I feel like afternoons are different for everyone.
They are.
What does your afternoon usually look like?
Around lunchtime, I usually step away from work for a little while.
Do you always eat lunch at the same time?
Not always.
Same here.
Some days I'm very disciplined.
And other days?
Suddenly it's 2 o'clock and I'm wondering why I'm so hungry.
I've definitely experienced that.
Most people have.
What do native speakers usually say instead of "I eat lunch"?
Great question.
Thank you.
You might hear phrases like, "I grab lunch."
Grab lunch.
Very common.
What else?
"I take a lunch break."
Nice.
Or "I go out for lunch."
Those all sound very natural.
They are.
What about after work?
That's where conversations often become more personal.
Why?
Because people enjoy talking about what they do in their free time.
That's true.
Imagine someone asks me what I do after work.
What would you say?
I'd probably say, once I'm done with work, I like to relax for a while before doing anything else.
Once I'm done with work.
Very useful phrase.
I like that one.
Then I might say, sometimes I go for a walk, sometimes I watch something interesting, and sometimes I just enjoy a quiet evening.
Quiet evenings are underrated.
I completely agree.
I think many learners know the phrase "watch TV."
Yes,
But native speakers often say things differently.
they do.
For example,
We might say, I relax and watch a little TV.
nice.
Or I unwind by watching my favorite show.
There's that word again.
Unwind.
I like it.
It's one of the most useful words for talking about evenings.
Because evenings are often about relaxing.
Exactly.
You know, I think I'm finally understanding something.
What's that?
Native speakers don't just describe what they do.
Right.
They describe how they experience their day.
That's one of the best summaries you've ever given.
I'll take that as a compliment.
It definitely is.
So if somebody asks me, "What's your typical day like?" I shouldn't panic.
Definitely not.
I should just tell the story of my day.
Exactly.
Even if my English isn't perfect?
Especially if your English isn't perfect.
Why especially?
Because communication is more important than perfection.
That's a message we keep coming back to on this podcast.
And we'll probably keep saying it.
Because it's true.
Absolutely.
So here's a challenge for everyone listening.
I like challenges.
The next time somebody asks about your day, don't give them a list.
Give them a story.
Tell them what happened.
Tell them what you usually do.
Tell them what you enjoy.
Tell them what makes your routine unique.
And don't worry if it's simple English.
Simple English can be powerful English.
I love that.
Me too.
Well, Noah, I think I've learned something important today.
What's that?
That talking about my daily routine doesn't have to sound like a textbook.
Definitely not.
It can sound like me.
Exactly.
And I think that's the goal.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
You know, Noah, I have an idea.
Uh-oh. Should I be worried?
Maybe a little.
Go on.
We've spent all this time talking about daily routines and how to sound more natural.
That's true.
But what if one of our listeners is thinking, okay, I understand the idea, but what does a complete answer actually sound like?
That's a great question.
I thought so.
Why don't we do a little role play?
Perfect.
Let's imagine we've just met for the first time.
Okay.
Maybe we're coworkers, maybe we're classmates, maybe we're meeting at a language exchange event.
Sounds good.
And I ask you a very common question.
Which is?
So, what's a typical day like for you?
That's actually a question I've heard before.
A lot of English learners hear it.
And sometimes it's difficult to answer.
Exactly.
Okay, let's do it.
So, Allie, what's a typical day like for you?
Well, most days I wake up around 7 o'clock. I'm not really a morning person, so it usually takes me a little while to fully wake up. The first thing I do is make breakfast and coffee. After that, I get ready for the day and head to work.
Very nice.
During the day, I'm usually pretty busy, so I spend most of my time working and trying to stay organized. Around lunchtime, I take a break and grab something to eat before getting back to work.
Great.
Once I'm done with work, I like to relax for a bit. Sometimes I watch a show, sometimes I go for a walk, and sometimes I just enjoy a quiet evening at home. Then I have dinners, spend some time doing things I enjoy, and usually go to bed around 11 p.m.
That's a fantastic answer.
Really?
Absolutely. And I didn't use any difficult vocabulary.
That's exactly what I want our listeners to notice.
What do you mean?
Many learners think natural English means complicated English.
That's true.
But your answer was mostly made up of simple words.
It was.
The difference wasn't vocabulary.
The difference was communication.
I like that.
Here's another thing I want listeners to remember.
What's that?
Your daily routine doesn't have to be exciting.
That's good news.
Why?
Because most of my days are pretty normal.
Mine too.
I think some learners feel pressure to tell interesting stories.
That's true.
But most people don't climb mountains before breakfast.
Not usually.
Most people wake up, work, eat, relax, and sleep.
Exactly.
So the goal isn't to have an exciting routine.
The goal is to describe your real life naturally.
That's much easier.
And much more useful.
You know what?
What?
I think listeners should practice after this episode.
I completely agree.
Let's give them a challenge.
Great idea.
Okay, everyone, here's your challenge.
Grab a notebook, open your Notes app, or just think about your answer.
First, think about your morning.
What time do you usually wake up?
What's the first thing you do?
Do you drink coffee?
Do you exercise?
Do you like mornings?
Or do you wish you could stay in bed longer?
Be honest.
Then think about your afternoon.
What do you usually do?
Do you work?
Do you study?
Do you spend time with friends?
What does a normal afternoon look like for you?
And finally, think about your evening.
How do you relax?
What do you enjoy doing?
How do you usually end your day?
Then try describing your routine in English.
And remember,
Don't make a list.
tell a story,
Even a simple story.
especially a simple story.
I love that advice.
Me too.
Well, Noah, I learned something important today.
What's that?
For a long time, I thought my problem was vocabulary.
And now?
Now, I think my problem was that I was trying to sound like a textbook instead of sounding like a person.
That's a huge realization.
I think so too.
And honestly, if our listeners take only one thing away from today's episode, I hope it's this.
Go ahead.
You don't need perfect English to talk about your daily routine.
Absolutely.
You don't need advanced vocabulary.
Nope.
You don't need complicated grammar.
Definitely not.
You just need to share your day, your habits, your experiences, and your personality.
That's what makes conversations interesting.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's the perfect place to end today's episode.
I think so too.
Thank you so much for spending time with us today.
We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident talking about your daily routine in English.
And remember, don't worry about sounding perfect.
Focus on communicating.
Focus on sharing your story.
And keep practicing a little every day.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to English with Noah and Allie so you don't miss future episodes.
And we'd love to hear from you.
Leave a comment and tell us about your daily routine in English.
We always enjoy reading your comments.
Thanks again for listening, everyone.
Take care, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.